Hey everyone, welcome back to Control. Last time, I spent the entire episode messing around in the Panopticon, so let's go somewhere else for a change of scene. Kinda want to stop by Ati's office in maintenance, so we'll see whether there's anything else of interest to be found around this sector while we're here. I also want to go this way first, since there's not a whole lot of the sector in this direction. It's a short shot to the elevator. But there are some things that I need to pick up along the way. As always, you look up everywhere you go, and I believe I pointed out this door way back in my first trip. I don't think it's possible to get up here without level 5 clearance, but as always, you don't need it. You make your own door. Get some high-level mods, at least. And finally, the procedure document for the fan. It's kind of interesting seeing the really old documents where they use the word thaumaturgical, which I believe is just a word for relating to magic. At least that's what I got from Discworld. And they used to keep the AIs in the Possessed Object Gallery. I think it's possible to go up higher, but there doesn't appear to be anything up there. So we'll just move on back to the actual elevator itself. This is where we first entered the sector. And again, there's something right up here. You'd probably never notice it if not for the one-way door that we're on the wrong side of. And that's just me being really clumsy about actually getting up to the hole. I don't know what the purpose of this shaft actually is. Eventually I'll get to the top of it, though. And the real reward for scouring absolutely every part of the building is that you get these ability points one at a time. I'll eventually be able to build up to some really nice stuff. Alright, we have another ventilation shaft, and more documents.
You're listening to America.
Oop, thought that was a document, sorry.
Overnight, broadcasting the truth no matter the consequence for 29 years and counting. Thank you for staying up with us. We've received an interesting letter here at the program. If you'll humor me, I'd like to read it. Dear America Overnight, I can feel myself becoming gigantic. It's constant. A growth in all directions, in each cell. Only when I measure myself, it says I'm the same height. I weigh the same weight. I've read that the universe is expanding. If that's the case, then 5'3" is taller than what 5'3" was yesterday. I feel it all the time. This expanding. I always have. I don't know why. Sometimes it's all I can do just to ignore it. People write about the universe expanding like it's happening slowly, but it's not. We were the size of mice yesterday. Now mice are the size of us, and we are the size that mice will be in 2 days. How long can this go on for? There must be an end, right? A limit? An edge? What happens when we reach it? Does anyone else feel this? Can anything be done? And that's signed Kate from Michigan. Well, how about it, America? Have you felt the universe expanding? Do you know how to stop it? Should we even try? America Overnight will be right back.
I'm pretty sure that's not how universe expanding actually works. Probably just a psychological effect from all the pressure to lose weight that we have in modern society. But, as you probably know by now, I'm no psychologist. So let's head back the other way. We've got Hiss, and we've got friendly rangers. And it's Cho! It's one of Arish's friends. He asked us to get the pouches from them, and I completely forgot about it. Well, he's being healed by 2 Hiss clusters, so I want to take them out first. In fact, I think I may almost have defeated him, but I'm going to take control of these orbs, because they'll heal our ranger friends as well as us. Now, I think the healing extends from the floor up to the walkway. In the meantime...
This was one of Arish's ranger buddies. I should find the others.
Oh. My mod inventory is actually full. Guess I really need to do some maintenance, huh? I usually only keep the best one of everything, even if it's something that might be good for more than one weapon. The ones that are exclusive to one weapon, I really don't see the need to stack generally. And there are a number of rooms around the maintenance sector that are full of mold, which I can now safely traverse. Not a whole lot of interest in any of them, I don't think, but, you know, the odd chest here or there. Nice powerful shield boost, at least. The original game file I've got, I still have a level 5 shield boost that gives me a plus 0%. Don't think I ever realized you could get up to here. There doesn't actually appear to be anything up there, but... neat to see all the places you can get to.
That's the reason they can go as far as Pepe Kraus.
No idea who he's talking about, but he's got a new mission for us.
You need to scrap that clean or there goes my reputation and honor. And then the good won't swing.
I'm guessing that expression means I'm not going to have anything to pass on to you. But, I don't know. Yeah, remember that time I fell down the elevator shaft? Don't need to worry about that anymore. I can now break my fall at any time. And it's now a good opportunity to see if there's anything under the elevator. Nope, not in this case. Sometimes they've just got an open shaft and you can drop down and find stuff. Alright, the good old power plant room. This is that huge place with tons of stuff to do.
My eyes open. We ain't out of the woods yet.
Good to see she's back in operation.
Metrologist, entry level at a facility in Ohio. One day they called me into an office. I thought I was in trouble.
Maybe you were.
I'm guessing the question was, what did you do before you ended up here? It is actually slightly easier to get around this room now. Not enough ability points to do anything with quite yet. But yeah, I think it's time to give my level 3 upgrade. And grip is pretty much always my weapon of choice. I do need a lot of remote thoughts to upgrade pretty much anything else. But now that I've got room for 3 weapon upgrades... energy renewal from headshots, nice, but I don't get a whole lot of headshots. I think ammo efficiency is probably the best thing. I don't know that grip uses all that much ammo, but getting 1 or 2 extra shots per reload is decent, I suppose. So yeah, I can just levitate right up here from ground level. Now it'll be a lot easier to explore all those little hallways off to the side. I think that's the control room there. Couldn't get in from this side anyway. And I assume I've already been over there because there's a bridge to it. That looks like a raised platform. I don't see anything on it that looks like something I would need to mess with. Actually, it's probably not even a raised platform. I think that's just the shininess of the floor changing as it gets near the elevators. Alright, let's keep going up. And again, don't necessarily need to find staircases. Do probably want to stop and deal with a hiss, though. Yeah, sadly, I was not able to grab both rockets in a row. That would have been pretty cool. But you can already see how much more damage grip is doing now that it's at the top level. Yeah, hiss nodes and research wouldn't be all that bad, but I don't want to lose track of where I am in this sector. I'm really thinking I probably should have just gone and done the mission at this point. Hiss nodes are a lot less annoying than some of the missions that they might send me to do. Don't think any of those hallways really have anything that I would need to see at this point. And before I go exploring, I do need to make my way up to the very top of this thing. It's a bit tricky to get to because I can't quite levitate up to this level. And levitation is the only way to get up here. So, nothing here, but again, we can continue upward. Gotta use all these pipes as ledges. Things get really bright once you're on this level. And we get a functional reward. Oh, high-level C's accelerator. Yeah, I think the first time I played, I got a plus 96% almost immediately after getting C's, and then like 124% not long after that. It was pretty amazing. But even with a slightly slower C's, I think it's still worth using. And here we go. Credit for a hidden location for making it to the very top of this thing. Yes, I know I just walked over a document, but I am well aware that it's there, so I know to look for it. There we go. It's very hard to see with how bright it is up here. And we finally learned about the surfboard. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but the name Chester Bless kind of reminds me of the name Hugh Bliss from the Telltale Sam & Max games. It's just me, right? I think I probably did explore this area before. That's the issue with this place. You can't always tell where you've been and where you've not. Everything just kind of looks the same. I'm pretty sure I couldn't possibly have explored this one before. There was no way to get up here without levitation. And doesn't look like there was much of a reason to with levitation. Alright. Well, onward to the quarry then, I guess. Maintenance is kind of a tough sector to explore thoroughly because there are lots of different ways to get from place to place. The elevator is at least working at this point, so I can get down quickly. And let's not forget there are astral spikes down there, so there will be some flashing lights for a few minutes. And there's no real way to get away from these either, you just kind of have to maneuver around them. And there's Thompson. The mission list does actually list the rooms where all of Arish's buddies are.
Another pouch for Arish.
So you don't just have to randomly search around for them. Alright, so we're out of astral spike range. They will come back a little bit later in the video, but they'll be way in the background. I don't imagine that would be an issue for anyone. Yeah, remember this secret passage? I could get down here with levitation, but it was really hard to get out, and I couldn't survive down here because of the mold. Not going to be a problem anymore. But, of course, as you'd expect, the mold hosts have returned. They're not much of a threat at this point, surprisingly. And they did a lot of damage, but I could actually survive a couple hits this time. And I'm pretty sure that C's accelerator is already worse than the one I just got. Kinda hoping there would be more than that down here. But I guess I already did get an ability point for making it this far down. So the chest was all that was left. Can't do anything with a light fixture. Maybe it would be a bad idea if I could. Alright, yeah, that seems to be it. So, now to get out the way that nature intended. By getting stuck under a low ceiling. Even with levitation, this doesn't seem quite as smooth as you'd want it to be. And it's even possible to get a little further up here, but not very, and I really don't see anything up there to get to. That's all closed off with mesh. There we go. Much simpler way to get out. And yeah, astral spikes off around the corner, so no flashing to worry about. I could head straight ahead and go to the actual quarry, but don't really want to do that at this point. Now remember there was another level 5 door across the way here, with stuff that I absolutely couldn't get to at all without levitation, so I've got both of those things now, let's get to it. Just want to make sure I'm not missing anything over in this direction, because I doubt I'll be coming back over here. pretty sure that door across the way was just another ledge that I've already been to and looked across and saw this. So yeah, no Tetris music this time. I can just jump right up these ledges. Absolutely no hope of getting up this far without levitation. And there's more stuff up there, too. But I want to check this direction first. More ventilation shafts. Always a bit of a maze here, I think. A really simple one, admittedly. And for making it this far, we suddenly get an ability point. That's because I recognize this door, I know what's on the other side of it, and that tells me that I want to go back to the shaft and go up first. Apologies for the bit of backtracking. Turns out I don't know my way around the Bureau as well as I thought I might. It's definitely possible to get up there, I just have to work out how. Oh, okay. Looks like that is exactly one teleport distance, or one levitate distance away. More high-level mods. And there is kind of a door up here, but no way in as far as I can tell. And if there was, I just blew up whatever the heck was in there. Kind of hoping I'd be able to see something or grab something, but I don't think there's anything interesting actually there. Oh yeah, hard to stand on those girders. And even if I could, I'm pretty sure there's nothing up here. It's just really, really bright. So, I want to descend carefully and make sure I don't miss the ledge on the way down, because I do want to go through that door. It's just going to lead into another area, and it'd be inconvenient to have to come all the way back. Guess I probably should have opened it in the first place, just to make sure. But yeah, this is that door in the furnace chamber we couldn't get through. And I don't believe there's anything levitation worthy here. I was barely able to get up here without levitation. I keep thinking there's got to be a way to grab those TVs with the fire on them and throw them into the furnace, but I have no idea what way that would be. And it seems like I should be able to... Yeah, you can get back up here. And there's actually a ledge over on the other side that you would need either levitation or evade and a lot of energy to get to. But there's nothing here. And I don't remember whether there was a mold-filled room back toward the elevator from here or not. Should check that at some point, but I wanted to get back down here to the pump room. And there's another opening. It's possible to levitate to it. Honestly, I don't think there's any need to do this, because we will be coming back here later. But yeah, it's neat to get to this area that's way above the rest of the pump room. And those nooks up near the ceiling are incredibly suspicious. I just need to find a way to get that high. Yep, that just barely does it. And once again, we are rewarded. Don't know how many threshold remnants we're going to need, but I now have one more of them. And this mold isn't harmful, even if you don't have the vaccine yet. I don't imagine there are any more chests up here, but never hurts to look. And another one-way door, which means we'll eventually be coming into this room from that side. Meanwhile, there's one more chest out here in the middle of the room, and it's probably no less convenient to grab it now than any other time. And down to the rest of the pump room, where another one of Arish's friends is waiting for us. Somewhere. Yep, I figured when I couldn't see him immediately, I should probably have suspected as much. For whatever reason, even though I know this is one of Arish's friends, he doesn't have a name. I guess because he's invisible most of the time. But going back to my his distorted standard of shoot everywhere with spin, in the hope of revealing him so that I can attack more effectively.
An old squad mate of Arish's.
Maybe it didn't show his name because they couldn't figure out how to spell Hepstenstall. So I figured I would go check the pipeworks. There's nothing there. And it was incredibly boring. No combat, no nothing. So, moving on. Going to other parts of the maintenance sector. I always kind of think maybe there ought to be something down there, but I'm pretty sure it's just a death plane. And I don't mean the cool kind of plane where it's an airplane, you die if you look at it or something. Just one of those video game things where as soon as you touch it, you die, even if it's not really reasonable for your character to die just there. This whole area looks kind of unfamiliar, but that's because I don't think I've ever actually walked up this way. And I figured at this point, I've found most of Arish's friends, so I might as well just complete the journey. And I do know there's a mold room here. Still don't remember whether there was one before getting to the coolant pumps or not. I think there is, and I'll have to come back for it another time. This one's actually got a document in it. Yep, a chef concerned about safety regarding the people eating in their space, and trying to convince the higher-ups to let them take sensible health precautions. Tell me again how this game was actually made in 2019? It looks like there's something to get to further up there, but there is not. So, into the energy converter area. This place has got a lot of vertical space, and again, a space way above the rest of the room that leads to other places, but this one we actually can get through because we've been there before. And another one of Arish's squad mates. It's Remus. Seems like I shouldn't be having as much trouble with him as I am. probably ought to get closer if I'm going to try to use launch against an elevated.
Ouch. Just like Arish said.
I'm glad she can just grab the pouches wherever they drop without having to get close to them. Nothing further down, fortunately. Seems like it would be a bit of a pain to get to it. I think there are a couple of places in the game where you can actually drop down somewhere like that to get some stuff, but not here. And may as well check the control room, but I don't know where they would put something if there were something to put here. Alright, it looks like it's not going to be very easy to get up to the top of this room, but I believe it can be done. There should be just enough things to stand on, and unfortunately you kinda hit your head on the bottom of the ledge there. And that was me failing to clear the pipe on that side. Pipes are somehow standable surfaces. So I think I should be able to stand just here. Make sure there's not anything out over in this space. But yeah, there we go. Nice quick way to get up to the Black Rock Quarry. But I still don't want to go back to the quarry just yet. That's probably going to be an entire video just exploring that once I get around to it. Want to head back to the processing area because the last two of Arish's squad mates are off in this direction. This was Darling's Blackrock lab. Nothing hidden here. And the Blackrock processing facility, where we find Hazard.
They didn't stand a chance without HRAs.
Oh, there were other good guys in here and I didn't even see them. I remember there being a place here I couldn't get to. It's easy enough now. And the other document about the surfboard. And normally when they mention a custodian or a janitor in these documents, I kind of immediately assume that it's Ahti, but in this case, I'm pretty sure I know who this is. This is just kind of an off-the-wall theory, but if we go back to the access records for the hotline, I don't remember which section that was actually under, though. It's not going to be under non-official. It's got to be records. Yeah, there we go. The Hotline Security Log. We see that Bill Everett was visiting the hotline pretty often. And then I noticed that he was replaced by Carol Bishop 2 weeks later. I'm thinking that's because he got his hands on the surfboard, messed with it, and got fired. I'd have to go back and see if that surfboard document has a date on it that might conflict with that timeline, but I don't know. The pieces kind of come together for me so well, even if the dates don't line up. I still kind of think that maybe that's what went on. The injured people are still hanging around in the Atlas Chamber security area. But out here we find the last of Arish's friends, Guy. Who is a Hiss Warped, of course. I don't think we had seen one of them yet. Not really much of a threat at this point. He's actually almost down. And as he recovers his barrier, there we go. If I can target him just right, I can even see his hiss warped at this point. And now, I get to fight with Guy. I'm sure that's what Arish would have wanted. Give him one last chance to go out fighting the bad guys. If he can find them.
That's all of them. Arish saw it coming, though. I should get these back to him.
Yeah, I don't know whether he dropped the pouch because he just happened to die at that particular moment, or because the fight was over. Either way, I managed to kill a hiss trooper somewhere along the way. And I'll be going to Executive next, but I think I want to take on the research one, because I don't want to put everything I've got into Executive. But speaking of Executive, let's go back and turn in those pouches. Get our reward.
Fuck if they're in there and we go around that way. No.
Here are the pouches. I found 6.
Well, that's all of them. Not counting mine. Well, I guess I'll just have to wear all of them. It sounds sappy, I know, but... well, it's all I can think to do.
Nothing's easy with the hiss. Is it rude to ask what's inside? What's inside the pouches? Too late now.
You know, the story's confidential, but, well, I guess I can tell you, being the director and all. So, the Bureau had heard rumors of a werewolf gathering upstate every full moon. Us being rookies, they sent us to confirm it was bullshit.
Hold on, is he about to tell me werewolves are real?
Turns out, there was an altered item that was creating violent gravitational anomalies during full moons. Oh, man, we nearly bit it that night. Well, to remember the occasion, we all bought silver bullets to wear around our necks, just in case we ever ran into another werewolf.
So why did you leave the Rangers?
Thought I could do more good here. Somebody's got to protect the people who protect everybody else, right?
I have to go.
Me too. You're not the only one who's busy, you know.
And with that, I've got enough ability points to afford the ability I've really been wanting to get. Shield Rush. This one was added in DLC along the way. It's incredibly powerful. Costs a ton of energy, though. So, yeah, I'm going to need to upgrade my energy pretty soon. That, and I think I've had enough of the golden suit, so let's go back to default clothes until I found another outfit. And just to see... don't have enough stuff to upgrade any of my weapons just yet, and there's only one that still needs to be upgraded to level 2. I'll need untapped potential for all the rest of them. So, don't think there's anything else to do this time. Next time, we're going to search the executive sector. See you then.